yeah, here we go. As the lights shall begin. As we get to 5, Massey's revving up his engine. We're underway, and it looks like Dolphin's got a slightly better start. No, he hasn't. In fact, he's had a bad start, and Scarborger's got ahead of him. And it goes Massey from Scarborger into turn 1. Jack, I think, has just got the move done as well. I think he's going side by side with Dolphin. He's actually made the move into turn 2.
No,
and he's up there as we've got a spinner. That is Golden Egg Fryer, and it looks like there's a bit of a pile-up going on down the back. I don't think there's many people got involved in that, but
there is a lot of people who have got involved in that. There is pretty much half of the field have been involved in that pile-up. Golden Egg Fryer is trying to get it.
She's still going for it as well. I'm not sure what's happening here. Can people get through? Jaylee Menz has got through. I'm surprised there's nothing there. Golden Egg Fryer has just reversed into it. Oh no, he just sent Jack Mole round by reversing. Oh, that's... he was reversing to get into space, and he's just sent Jack Mole for a spin as well. So that was Leah Menz, Teddy Barlow, Golden Egg Fryer and Jack Mole, and there was no safety car for it. So that is a pretty hectic start to the race, and it's going to be Massey from Scarborger from SLR Jack on the medium tyres for the front 3, as Dolphin has a pretty horrific start and a getaway, and he falls down to P4 from P2. Look at that, Scarborger right on the back end of him. Jack is a little bit further back from them, but he's got the fastest middle sector, Scarborger, and he's right.
I wonder whether Jack picked up some
end.
damage that one. He's lost an awful lot of time to this front 2, and
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. It looks like he's losing a big amount of time.
Just tapped the wall in the S's, and I wonder whether he's got a little bit of damage from that. It's quite easy to pick up damage.
Hypers has been overtaken by OG James as well, but we're going to carry on with his front 2. It doesn't look like they're going to be making a move just yet, but if there will be, we'll keep it updated.
Meanwhile,
OG James is almost going side by side. Justin Blaze has made a move on Hicklin, and he has
Blaze has done unbelievably well at the start of this race, it must be said, because he was starting last, and you know that pile-up, he managed to completely avoid it. And
yeah, he managed to avoid it.
And he's up into 10th place because of it. He's gained 8 positions off the start, and is absolutely flying on those fresh mediums as Drastic Blaze. He's not had the luxury of doing any laps of qualifying like some of the other people who, like everyone else, I should say, in the lobby, and he's not let that phased him, and he's absolutely flying. Because I have to say, the timing screens are all over the place.
They are all over the place,
They're
aren't they?
all over the place.
Just watching them now, and yeah, Dolphin is not far. Well, he's not far behind Jack. He's just kind of waiting on a mistake. I think OG James is currently in a Red Bull sandwich with SLR Ali and SLR Hypers, as there's been a spinner, and it's Scarborger on the exit of turn 12.
Oh
no, it's horrible stuff for him. That's definitely screwed him up. Oh, he better get out of the way there.
And he's clunked his
rear wing damage. That was a bit of a shunt.
He's clunked several barriers here, and he's definitely got some
that could be a hefty bit of wing damage there, as he's fallen down to P13, and maybe more after a pit stop. We've had a few pit stops on that one, and that was Men's, Teddy and Golden Egg Fryer. Clearly all of them getting involved in that big pile-up at the start with the spin. Drastic Blaze, interestingly enough, is actually on negative fuel. He's actually just let through Hicklin. I wonder if maybe he's just had an incident, maybe got wing damage. I think he has. He's actually got no wing at all as he comes into the pits here.
Oh!
It's not what you want to see.
I wonder potentially.
OG James is trying it with Ali. Going side by side. In fact, he's made the move stick around the outside of turn 1. So lovely stuff from OG James. His DRS is now unable. Will there potentially be an overtake made on kind of back on him? Ali's going to have a go, and looks like Panther might be having one of the Hypers behind him. No, he won't, but he will take around the outside, and he takes the position back.
It's a nice little battle here.
I guess you could say.
Nice little battle here. Look at the 5 cars in here as well. As W44 is in this little of cars, you might say, as well as.
Yeah, I think.
Nice close racing here. As well, I mean.
Yeah, it's.
Scarborger's crash, unfortunately, I mean, it's kind of made the fight for P1 a little bit less dramatic, as Massey's got quite a comfortable lead on SLR Jack at the moment. It's now 3.4 seconds.
It looks like he could have a potential repeat of last week, where he got the lead early on because of damage to his rival for the race win. And well, he went on to win the race, and I wonder if that might be the same thing here today. Of course, our winner last night in Div 1 was the person that won in Monaco. Could that be the same fate? We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is a little bit of a trend. Actually, Ali's had a pretty decent getaway from OG James.
And Panther's going to probably have a move on OG James here. He's got a bit more ERS.
Yes, he's managed to get past Hypers as well, which I don't know when he managed to do that. He could be coming for it now. He's going to try and push, but somebody who might be more likely, Ali Pitts, someone who might be a bit more likely for a move might be LSW Legend. He's going to try maybe look at the inside, but he doesn't. He decides against it very late on. Will he try it maybe into turn 2? I think he might be just check the racing line, and he may be under the DRS here. He might be able to get one back. It looks like there's a yellow flag, and I think Barlow has had an incident in the snaky bit.
Yes, he has. I wonder whether he might have put his ERS on.
James and Panther are battling at it in the end of the first sector. In the little chicane, Panther with the switchback, and he's made a fantastic move up the inside.
Lovely from Panther. He's up to P4.
Very clever. He backed off a little bit to kind of let James through on the exit of turn 3, I think it was. It might be turn 4. Oh no, it was turn 3, sorry. And then he made a lovely bit of a switchback into turn 4. He sent him down late up the inside. Compromised his angle, and he takes P4 on the mediums as well. He's flying. Could potentially start, if he's damaged 3, manage to gain up on the likes of Dolphin and Jack.
I think he definitely can. I'd say Panther was one of, if not the quickest looking driver in qualifying. Of course, at the fastest time of anyone who set a lap on the mediums in Q2. Dolphin, of course, is on softs. And yeah, he's trying to catch up a bit, is Panther. Just about broken DRS of OG James. And I mean, if OG James can kind of live with him a bit on his aging softs, then
he's just about
could make OG James kind of get back into this race a bit and try and close in a bit himself.
Hypers is boxed very early, but he's on the soft, so it'll be interesting to see what he puts on. Maybe a set of hards and maybe just confirm to go to the end. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. He's actually got on some medians.
So he's committing to the 2-stop, yes.
He's too early to go for a 1-stop on those soft. They do overheat very quickly. So it looks like Dolphin.
As Hypers has found a decent little bit of clean air, although in saying that, Hicklin, even though he came in last lap, and he's got the undercut and managed to get past Hypers. So Hicklin's in a really good position here, actually. He's on fresh mediums, and
surprisingly so. And Ali's going to try it around his teammate because he's a reserve, but he's actually made the move stick. I think Hyper's maybe got a bit flustered. I wonder if he's maybe got a little bit of wing damage still.
Speaking of someone maybe having a little bit of wing damage, I suspect Massey might have a little bit himself. Because SLR Jack has closed in by a second in the last lap or so, and is gradually eating into Massey's lead. So no,
I was wondering if that might just be Jack's pace, because Dolphin has gone very quickly as well. And Golden Egg Fryer, I believe, has had a spin on the exit of turn 2, very similar to how he did on lap 1, and he's not ideal at all for him. But yeah, Jack is eating into that gap at Massey. Whether he's just decided to really just switch up the gear and go for it, or whether Massey might have a little bit of damage. There's no visible damage to the car, but it might be Dolphin boxes, and so that leaves Panther to take a provisional podium spot as it stands, because a net podium spot because he's yet to pit. As OG James also follows him through as well. And they are both going to be boxing. Dolphin puts on the medium, so does OG James. That looks like a 2-stop, I would guess, as Drastic Blaze has crashed, and that is at the exit of the Snake.
No, Scarborger!
Oh, and Scarborger's hit him.
That is exactly why you need to make sure that you slow down on the yellow flags properly. There is now a full safety car as Scarborger has.
Full safety car. I'm not surprised.
He drove
that looked like a big
under
impact.
a VSC.
I kind of came on board with Scarborger. Look at that. I've just watched him more than the men's. He's had to kind of do a slalom in between the two cars. They're scattered across the racetrack on the exit, and that is exactly what can happen And that's unfortunate for Skarborger. He looked like he had some very good pace, and I'll tell you what, Drastic Blaze had a pretty decent start as well, so it's very unfortunate. Both of them have been cleared up now. Yeah, very unfortunate. Rather large crash. I wonder if there may be a couple of pit stops for. I'm pretty sure the hards will go distance from now, and maybe a push the mediums might be able to from about that.
The only issue is the top 5 all are on mediums, so they would have to choose the hards if they want to do the one stop. It's a really difficult one, to be honest. I mean, do you kind of just lock yourself in and go, right, I'm not going to have to make any pit stops? Or do you put on another set of medium compound tyres and then just try and go on the softs later on?
Or is he? No, he's decided against it. Jack
that's a really bad decision by Massey, because everyone else behind him is going to pit probably. Although Legend
everyone's
doesn't.
pitting. Panther's pitting. Legends has stayed out. What about Kiara? Kiara is going to do a double stack with her McLaren teammate. Dolphin, I think, is going to be. Looks like he's staying out. Somebody who won't beat is Leah. Leah's going to box. Of course, he's went to start. He could probably go to the end on mediums if he went for it. Panther, interestingly enough, has gone on the soft tyres, where Jack has gone on the hards. So that is an interesting mix-up of strategy there. Panther, I would guess, is definitely going to do a two-step.
Yeah.
Kiara, on the other hand, has gone on to another set of mediums. She'll be looking to do a medium soft from here, I would guess. Yeah, it's definitely scattered the strategy about here, and it's definitely made it interesting for Massey and Legend, who are top 2.
I think Massey got a little bit of a mare there not pitting, because he'd have only lost a single position to Legend, and I mean, even if it had just put on fresh mediums, then Massey would have had tyres that were way quicker, and he could do a strategy that he was incredibly comfortable with, like a medium soft from here, like Kiara's of course doing. But Massey has elected to stay out on those older mediums. Maybe it's potentially going to try and stretch them out to a set of softs later in the race. But drivers such as Dolphin, for example, who are on another set, who are on that set of mediums, doing that two-stop, I'm sure are going to be
a few interesting little battles, I think, on the restart here. I think somebody who has definitely worked out for is Jack. He won't need to stop again. However, he will be on slightly slower hard tyres. He'll really need to ramp up the temperature in those tyres if he's going to continue on in this race.
Jack is the only one at the moment, with the exception of possibly Barlow, who needs to do an awful lot to catch back up, it must be said, and may have some kind of rear wing damage, as he has had a couple of big whacks with the barrier. Or side pod or floor damage or diffuser damage. But the only person really who is...
We've had a 5-second penalty, we've had a couple of penalties, we've had a collision.
Yeah, the only two people who are going to the end are going to be Jack and Barlow for certain, I think.
That is damage. That looks like looks like Ali's hit the back of Hitler. I don't know whether that was just maybe just a little bit of misreading from Ali there, or maybe Hitler had to slam on the brakes and Ali was right behind him. I didn't see what had happened, but there may be.
There is now an additional person of Ali who is going to try and make it to the end on those hard compound tyres. I'm surprised not more people flooded into the hard tyres there. Like, this would be your ideal lap to pit if you just did a soft hard here, which, to be honest, is a strategy that... Well, it's a strategy that was very common here.
Teddy's out. Teddy's binned it under a safety car.
Oh no, Teddy.
He's binned it under the safety car. That is him out of the session. He's binned it at a snake. And that is not what you want to see under the safety car. Yikes. I think it's the only way to describe that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not what you want to see there. And that is a big crash there, and Teddy's out of the race.
But as you said, what you do want to see is these variants of strategies. If I'm being completely honest, I think Jack is in the money here, unless there's another safety car. Because, sure, those hards are going to be awful, but other guys who have gone to the mediums really going to...
So I'm very interested to see whether Leah will have to pit again.
He started on the hards. I had a look.
He started on the hard, so I think Lee will be able to go the distance on those.
It'll be quite a stretch.
Dolphin,
of course,
might be able to as well. I think OG James started on the softs as well, so he's got a chance. I think Hypers might be a bit too much of a stretch. It is really a fine window. It just depends how your tyre wear is. But I know if you could take the softs, and keep on going until about lap 8 or 9, then you could put the mediums on fresh mediums, go the distance. And of course, we'll probably be getting close to that. I think it'll probably be the end of lap 9 we will be coming in. I doubt we'll get a restart now. It's far too late for that to happen, I think. Yeah, it will be now. It's just caught up now, so we will continue on.
Golden Egg Fryer, unfortunately, has a drive-through penalty to contend with as well.
Yeah, you can't serve them in the safety car, can you?
No, you can't. As Barlow is
hopping into the box, there's Barlow. I mean, he's got nothing to lose. Maybe he's thinking, maybe he's listening to us and thought, I'm going to put a pair of mediums on.
No, he's got a front wing change.
No, he's got a front wing change, but he is putting on the mediums. Yeah. So maybe he is listening.
Depending on how many laps those mediums have done, it says it's a fresh set, so it's done 0 laps.
Yeah.
However,
it's
that might
doable.
be his quality set. That might be his quality set of mediums, but it could potentially be doable from that. And I mean, for all we know, there could be another safety car yet. I remember Season 5 Division 2, there were 2 safety cars, a complete mix of strategies. Everyone was confused on what on earth was happening. We had some people that pit on lap 1 from like last place who suddenly ended up fighting for the podium and stuff like that. It was absolute carnage, and we could see similar again. And one thing this does do is nullify that massive lap 1 pile up and bring the likes of Men's back into play, for example, as well.
Yeah, I mean, Leah was involved in that lap 1 crash as well. He was one of the drivers that was caught up in it. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Jack Mole was last after that collision. He's up to P11, so it is going to be a bit of damage limitation for him.
Yeah, and the 2 slowest
got it.
Yes, the 3 slowest kart drivers on the field are going to be Massey, Legend, and Jack as well. At least on their tyre compounds, with the old mediums and the new hards.
I would say so. Yeah.
So this is anyone's game now. This is absolutely anyone's game now, and
we will be.
For all we know, James could win this race. For all we know, Barlow could win this race. For all we know, Jamie Menz could win this race. Like anything could happen.
Anyone could win this race.
And that is
He'll
what
probably
we love.
be going in the Div 2 chat and say I could have won this race as he has for every race so far.
Who would say that?
JD Menz. He said it for every race in the Div 2 chat. None of them's quite come off. He hasn't scored as many points.
But yeah, another thing we have in Baku is a fantastic way of doing safety car restarts. Massey's gone.
Called it. Massey's gone.
He's absolutely
he hasn't exactly caught on napping either. Somebody who will is slightly being caught napping, I think, is LSW Legend. Is Jack's going to try it? No, he's not. He's backed out of it. But there has been moves as Hypers and Leah are battling. He's going to carry on and going through the field, and Dolphin is it looks like Hicklin might have done a last minute lunge on Panther.
Panther's on those fresh softs as well, so
Hicklin's keep on going for it. Is he going to send it up the inside? He's going to keep it on.
He is
arging his way through. And I think there's a problem. I think Hyper's gone round, and apologies if you can hear him as well. All these clips. Panther, he hasn't given him much room there, but Panther's had a half spin there. May have got a bit of damage. And there's a lot more happening. I'm sorry, you can probably hear that. But,
yeah, there's absolute carnage.
He's having a little bit of party. He's clearly getting a bit excited as well, the SLR mascot.
Oh no, it's Legend, no!
Oh, there's been a crash!
And that's Legend.
And that was Legend.
Jack got damage from it as well. Jack got a lot of damage from it.
Jack's got damage there.
And yeah, look at that. He's going very, very slowly through that fast right.
Very much so. Leah gets up to P4. Oh no! Jack's trying to keep it in there, I think. And he's either gone out or he's hit the back of Hicklin. And I think Leah's got damage now as well. Jack doesn't have a wing at all now.
This is going to be very dangerous now. Kiara needs to be unbelievably careful.
He definitely will do.
Oh,
he's hit Panther again. There's all sorts of carnage happening behind him. I don't think Jalen Menz has got the wing left either. I think he's coming into the pits as well, which he does. And there's lots there. As Legends out of the session, he's crashed at the bunny hop after his incident earlier on. Could we potentially see another safety car right after the last one? As
potentially.
Been
but yeah,
lots
many
of
things
action since that
many
restart. That's one thing.
Leah's shot up into P4 all of a sudden now.
He was in like P12 after, I think, in the restart or something like that. This is absolutely changed.
Barlow's in P9 after being last.
Yeah,
Hickman's on the podium as it stands, although
Jack Mole's gone up a load of positions as well. He was involved in that incident, of course, at the start. OG James is up there. Kiara's made up a fair few positions as well, and in fact, she might be getting overtaken here by Jack
one thing
Mole.
the one thing this now means is Matty's got a 3.5 second lead, but he's on much older tyres than the likes of Dolphin behind him. So this is just basically Dolphin trying to close in.
It looks like he is doing so. There has been an incident, and Jack Mole is out. That's on the exit of turn 12.
And there's another safety car. There we go.
And there's another safety car.
I think Matty might have to pit under this one, I think.
I think if I'm Massey, I am boxing for a set of mediums. There is quite a big gap, and he would come out in the points still.
I'd potentially box for a set of softs if I'm Massey, because he started on the mediums, obviously. This is basically just a free stop for Dolphin to take his tires to the end of the race if he wants to go on to another set of mediums. But
yeah, it's a very awkward one.
Unless Matty elects to go the
I think there will be a few pit stops. Massey has pit. Leah is disconnected, so he stays out and actually takes the lead. Kiara will stay out.
Leah's going to be so confused here. Leah's going to be so confused.
He'll need an invite back in if you can.
I have just given him one.
Out with that. Barlow's up to P3.
What?
Ali's up to P4. There's a fair few pit stops. A lot of these will be from damage from those collisions earlier on with Jack's crash and everything else that happened from there. It's very unfortunate for Jack.
Panther's on another set of softs.
Sideways.
So,
as Panther is on another set of softs, will he go the distance? He might. Yeah,
no way. He would not go.
I'm surprised he's put on the softs, to be fair, as I tell you what, Hyper's got very close to the exit. But yeah, I think that's an interesting call from Panther.
We need to have a screenshot of what the grid order was under the first safety car, and then another screenshot of what the grid order is under this second safety car, because my word, that is. It has changed. It has changed big time.
Yes, it has.
In my opinion, here, Barlow's probably the favourite up in this race now, as he is on those fresh mediums.
I'm 100% sure he can go the distance.
He's on those fresh mediums and he can go to the end. I mean, as can Leah and Kiara ahead of him, but Barlow has those little bit extra fresh tyres, and that can make all the difference. But wow, I mean, this race has just come alive. This is Div 2. It's back. This is what Div 2 always was like. This is absolute vintage Division 2 right here, and well, it is.
I've missed you.
Yes, this is a class race. I mean,
just looked at the football. Aston Villa are currently beating Everton.
What? Huh? What? That is...
Matty Cash scored the first, Luca Dini scored an own goal, and then Leon Bailey scored to make it 3-0.
So I wonder whether Leah's AI has not chosen to hit him. Okay, that's good. Because Leah's still not back in. I've sent him another invite, so I think he might have just disconnected and has only just seen this invite that I've given him. As Hypers is coming in the pits again, maybe for Steph's mediums this time. Just try and take it to the end. Nothing to... Oh, no, he's got no wing. Okay. Why am I not surprised? I was just bringing up the pit stops because I feel like a lot of people have made a lot of pit stops. Menz has made 4. Oh, not as many as I thought. Top 2 have only made 1 stop.
Massey and Dolphin are both on the hards. That's interesting. I mean, of course, Massey had to be, but Dolphin had a set of mediums as well, because he started on the softs and moved on to. It would have been a qualifying set of mediums, I believe. It would have only done 1 lap in Q2. There wouldn't be any more than 5% or so for Dolphins, and they definitely would have taken him. He would definitely have been able to take him to the end. So that's very interesting. Leah's, I know, were fresh because he obviously got knocked out in Q2, I believe Leah did. I think he might have been. And I've just seen the cause of what had happened at lap 1 with that turn 2, and I've just seen an onboard clip from SLR Teddy. Basically, that turn 1 incident was Hicklin's right at the inside of Golden Egg Fry and spun him around, and that's how that incident came to be.
As Leah is now back into the session, so it's good to see. Leah is going to come back into the session leading under a safety car. So
and will probably be in this lap as well.
It will be in this lap,
and
he's going to take control of his car on the restart. Oh no, he's back in. He's back in now.
There we go.
His car's just gone back in. Excellent. And
look at that. Who would have thought the front 3 on this safety car would have been Leah, Kiara and Barlow?
I'm pretty sure they were basically last, second last and third last.
Yes. This is very technical. I mean, Ali P4 as well. He's been in the wars all out today. Massey, who's led the race from the start, is in P5. Dolphin's in P6. OG James is in P7 on his softs. And I tell you what, this could do anything. We've got about 12, 13 laps left of this race, and anything could happen.
As we are now getting underway. And Leah's got a good restart, Luke. Kiara's going to go for it into turn 1. So Kiara for the lead.
Go on, Kiara.
Down the inside.
And Kiara takes the lead of the race into turn 1. And it looks like I saw a bit of damage flying off somewhere. I wasn't quite sure what it is. As Leah packs it in around the outside. I think Ali almost had a bit of an incident with Barlow, but I think he's alright.
Yeah.
So what can we see here? With Leah back, will he be able to make a move back on Kiara? Maybe going in down the inside into turn 3. He decides against it, and Kiara regains the lead, or keeps the lead, I should say, into turn 3. As I think Panther has lost a fair few positions. Looking at Dolphin has lost a fair few as well. Massey has stayed in P5. Hicklin and OG James have gained.
Yeah, of course.
In fact, another one there is Panther makes it past Dolphin again, and I can't believe what I'm seeing. This is just everyone's so tight up. Jack is right on the back end of Dolphin now. I think Dolphin may have a bit of damage at some stage. He looks still reasonably competitive through there, so maybe not. Panther is looking for a move. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes through it into the bunny hop. And decided to back out before that on Hicklin. They came together earlier, of course, and on the first restart, so maybe he's just thinking.
And Hicklin does have damage as well, so maybe influencing Panther's decision. Yeah, Hicklin's got damage to his...
Watch out, Panther, because there we go. That's what happens.
Yeah.
When you're following a car with damage on the safety car. Always Jack's been put in the wall as well, furthermore. And as I was saying, that is what happens when you've got damage and you're following a car with damage. I had that yesterday, and that cost me big time.
Yeah.
And that has ruined Panther's
and obviously, like, he's not going to have expected Hicklin to have that damage. So yeah, Hicklin breaking into a corner that Panther can take flat out, and yeah. Saw that coming from
break, and that's caused Hicklin to have a real problem. Somebody who hasn't got a problem is OG James, and he is on one at the minute.
Yeah, he's got one problem, which is he will probably have to pit again, but
yeah,
he is absolutely flying on those
He needs to make a move quickly, and the person who's got in front of him is the man that's been leading the race since lap 1. Well, until that last safety had.
As Leah and Kiara.
Leah and Oh, he's just tapping Chiara through that turn there. Turn 7. Oh, as Chiara gets very close to that curb on the inside. Castle, and this is so tentative. Oh, Chiara leaves the back end a little bit, and Leah might have a better run. He may go for a move, he may not. We'll have to wait and see. I don't think he's close enough yet, but somebody might be close enough. Well, I think that's right. I've done it now.
Yeah, as Hickman is put in the stream chat, yeah, what could he do? I mean, yeah, that's just ultimately just what can happen when you've got a driver who is...
There's nothing really, like...
And driver who doesn't.
As
here we are, three-way fight for P1, here it comes. Barlow's going to have a massive run, potentially.
It's not really three-way, I would say it's six-way at this rate, but look at that, I think Barlow could be looking at a double move here. If he plays his cards right.
There is no DRS yet.
Straight line speed setup. No DRS just yet, so maybe they're just staying as they are, and it looks like
no, Barlow's massively outbroken.
Barlow's gone for it. That was a silly move from Barlow, to be completely honest. And that is going to cause our third safety car of the night. I'm not quite sure what he was doing there. He must have lost his braking and thought, I don't want to take a car out from behind. I'm just going to have to go straight on kind of at turn 1. Hope nobody gets there. And that has cost him big time. Safety car number 3 is out, and that was a big incident. I was on board there with Chiara. I hope they don't have damage. Leah has dropped down to P5 from P2 after that collision. I wonder if he may
I think Leah does have damage, yes, I think.
If Chiara has damage, I will feel very sorry for it.
It would be potentially
very clean throughout the race there.
If anything, damage. As Barlow
That's a good
didn't hit
question.
our front
Can
wing.
you check something for me? Is the safety car on reduced?
I will.
Apologies if you can hear me eating, by the way. I've just got my dinner. So I'm just having a little bit of a... It feels a bit like popcorn. Just watching and
safety car is on reduced, indeed. So, I mean, it's certainly coming out, and I think that is a Monaco-specific issue. But yeah, this race is absolutely unreal. This is... If we thought we had vintage Div 2, that then happened.
Oh, that was amazing.
And if you're Massey or an Ale here, do you potentially pit here and get rid of those hard tyres? Because they're absolutely awful.
If I'm Ali, I definitely would. Massey, maybe.
We'll see what these drivers
do. I wouldn't be against it. Maybe box for mediums.
I think Chiara's looking like she is going to box now. Yep.
She's going to box. I wonder if she's going to put... Maybe she has damage as well.
Massey,
that might be
OG
the case.
James obviously pits. Leah might have damage.
Ali stays out.
Jaylee Menz is in P2.
As Chiara puts on softs, that may go... I think they'll go the distance, those softs.
As is Massey.
She also gets a wing change as well.
So that that is a real shame.
She's definitely got damage. I hope she clipped that incident, because it was a very reckless dive there, to be completely honest.
I feel sorry for the Div 2 stewards, I have to say, after this crazy race.
Yeah.
And now, do you know what? Suddenly Massey's the favourite for the win again. He's on those fresh softs, he's going to get past Menz and Ale, and, well, yeah, what an absolute up and down, topsy-turvy set of thing can happen.
It's been such a mental race, it's to be honest, it's been so all over the place, and we've only got a few laps left. And I mean, I wish I had some more views of that incident, but that was just... We thought he was going to stay the same and it was just going to happen again next race, but it looks like Barlow may have just lost his braking or something, and it just had to go straight on.
Yeah, I know it was 3 wide, obviously, so he's probably just not seen. He's probably just not seen. Yeah, I mean, it was 2 wide, and he was on the left of both of them, and probably has not seen his racing line, and has just completely broken way too late. Realised way too late.
I know myself. I struggle a lot when I'm in a train trying to figure out what a braking is. But, yeah, I mean, I've done my fair share.
That's why it's always useful.
Like that.
That's why it's always useful to at least have some basic idea of where others are braking relative to yourself, and have some basic idea of when about to braking relative to the braking marker boards as well. So if you can't see that racing line, if you're a driver who does run it, you
Safety car's in.
you make sure that you
That's very quick.
avoid.
Does Ali know? Ali looks like he's just gone for it.
Ali's trying.
It said the safety
And
car's in
Menz
his
is going to
lap.
have a massive
He's going to have a
overspeed on
stupid
him.
run because Ali's been caught napping and Menz has taken the lead almost. In fact, Ali's going to fight it.
They make
Ali will
contact.
fight it, and so he does manage to. Well, Menz does stay ahead, but Ali cannot quite get ahead. And they continue on.
I think Ali's thought process
1
there,
and 2.
maybe.
Menz takes the lead.
Ali's thought
Could we
process.
see a win there for JD Menz?
Yeah, Ali's thought process there, I think, was maybe a case of that he had. Well, he had a lot of gap to Menz and figured that if he could stay at full speed, that he could maybe gain a second or so on Menz. But ultimately, the game forced him to slow down, and
Look at that. The gap between him
Menz got
and
through.
Menz is almost a second now. He had
that's
to use
those
a little bit
mediums
of
tyres, of course.
ERS. Yeah, exactly. The difference he's going to have on the mediums will definitely help him out for the next
As now
few laps.
Panther finally gets his way past Hicklin, and I think he's done it without getting damaged this time. So there is a battle that's been
Well done.
raging on all race, and Panther has finally got his man, like, fourth time lucky it feels like this race.
So yeah, they've had a monumental battle so far. I tell you what, Ali is right back on the back end of Menz again, very quickly. I'm surprised how quickly he has caught up. Somebody who has definitely caught up is Massey, who
those
is going to be
fresh softs.
flying on these softs.
And they will be a
down
fresh set, of course, as well,
into turn
because
one.
he missed
Without him
Q1.
making a move, but the toe is incredible. It just depends.
And
how
OG
quickly
James is
straight
in
line.
contention as well. OG James has got fresh softs as well. That's
Oh,
the second off
100%.
the lead. If something happens to Massey, maybe
And
then
it looks like something might be happening there. There's Ali and Massey.
Ali
go
goes
side
very
by
defensive,
side,
and
OG James has
James
made the move on Massey, and he's up to P3.
He
He's maybe going
tries
into
to make
P2
the
as he
move.
tries to be inside. It's not quite worked
Chiara's
out, so
got Lear
Massey's
as
going to
well.
be going side by side. Chiara's just got past Lear for P5, and here comes Massey back at OG James into turn 3. They're going to go side by side. He's given him room as OG James, but Massey decides to back out of it.
all this is
And
just going to
Chiara
benefit
right
one
behind these
person.
guys as well.
This is just going to benefit one person, JD Menz. He needs as big a gap as he
100%.
possibly can until the soft tyres die off, as he's just going to be praying that these drivers keep on battling. And at the moment, he does have that. And
As Panthers picked up a penalty, 3-second time penalty for track limits.
Chiara
Massey gets
nearly
very
hits
close
the
to the
wall, and then does hit the wall.
She's actually lost quite a bit of time to Massey there. I'm sure that won't be made up in this little train. Continue on. Hicklin's just been overtaken by Jack, and Menz's gap is looking good.
But once OG James gets through, I'm sure that is going to come down massively.
Oh yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if he tries it
Oh,
now. He's
OG
actually
James
using his
using a lot of
overtake
overtake
through the
That is-
S's, and that is very risky.
I was
know
scared
from
for him,
personal
man.
experience,
I
it's
was
very
scared for him.
He's going to get it done though, 100%.
Yeah, Ali's used all of his
Sorted.
deployment.
OG James, sign still delivered there really, but he's going to have a try and fight back at him. Is that directly inside? Good, nice one. He's managed to stay there, and he's up into P2. It's OG James, riding on board with Massey, who's just behind them. As I was saying, Chiara's dropped Dolphin considerably so. There. I wonder if Dolphin may have had a little bit of an incident. Chiara's caught up massively. I know she's got a very low downforce setup. If I remember rightly, Arlo was telling me she's running 1-4 wings tonight.
What on earth?
Yeah, so she's going to be ridiculous.
I ran
in a straight
6-8
line.
last night.
Last night I was on 8-3, which was very interesting. OG James then is going to try and catch up to him as Ali and Massey go side by side.
Don't go side by side
There.
in the castle, whatever you do.
Yeah. I think Massey is a smart, he's quite a good, well-experienced driver. I think he knows what he's doing, so he will just stick behind and
Definitely.
filter through. And the problem with these trainers is that you're not really going to lose the person behind you. unless they do make big mistakes. And I mean, Dolphin made a little mistake, I assume, that lost him a massive gap. But he's caught back up to Chiara because of this train that's been held up here, as there has been a yellow flag, and that's Hicklin at the bunny hop. But it looks like Chiara's just been 3 seconds time pivotal in her fight for a potential podium.
As Massey is now going to try and get past Dalle. Oh no,
because Chiara's out. Chiara's binned it.
There's another safety car.
Another safety car, room 4 now. Oh, that's right on the racing line, actually. That's a very tight one.
Zale's dived into the pits.
That's a wise move from Ali, in my opinion.
Absolutely, completely agree. As is Hypers as well. Menz has stayed out.
If I'm driving down the back of the pack, I would definitely box myself now. That's unfortunate for Chiara, because she was doing very well. She was very high up.
Yeah.
And I would think she was surprising a lot of people with her pace, and that's very
But Wowie this now wipes out Menz's advantage and gives those soft tyres a few laps to cool themselves down before
I think I would stay out if I was Menz, but he is going to get absolutely swamped.
Oh, you say that, but there's not going to be any DRS, and Menz has shown pretty good pace.
I don't know what he's doing now.
Yeah, Wowie though. Just
up now. Oh, the safety car is actually, it's actually letting everyone through, so everyone's going to be at the Delta for a really long time. My dog has just realised I've got food, so he's currently sat next to me, the one that's done all the barking. So hopefully he doesn't get too loud. I'm sure he'll be all right. Yeah, Menz. If I'm Menz, I'm staying out anyway. I mean, I'll probably lose a few positions, but you won't lose as many as if you box. I don't know what you would think.
If I'm Menz, I stay out for the simple reason that, well, it's a case of if he pits, he'd go down into about 7th place-ish. You'd have to say roughly.
Yeah.
If he stays out, then he'll have a couple of laps on the safety car, and then another few laps where there's no DRS. So you'd think maybe realistically only OG James and Massey are going to be really drivers who could get past him in the dying laps. And I've told him to make Fryer pits.
I think something to note
that
as
makes
well.
sense. Yes.
It could be the same as what happened on the last safety car restart for Menz. He literally had the safety car like 5 laps ago, and he managed to get away, and he had a nice big gap after he got past into turn 1, and he had a 1.5. I think it was probably about 2 seconds by the end of that. By the time that safety car came out again. So that could be the repeat performance. We could get a repeat performance of that again on this one.
Indeed. Yeah, in my opinion here, I mean, whoever wins this is whoever gets the safety car restart right in the top 3.
I think it's fair enough to say. Yeah. Oh, I've forgotten what I was going to say now. Oh well. I was going to say something. I've forgotten about it.
But yeah,
oh, well.
This is more Division 2 than a Division 2 race could possibly ever be, by the way. And this is so much fun.
It's not often we get 4 safety cars in one race this season. Yeah, if it was going to be a division, it was going to be.
We've had 4 safety cars in one race. Menz was last by about a minute after our 3 laps. The only person who's really stayed in their position and has kind of looked like getting a top 4 just pretty much wherever, just whatever lap you look at is Massey, really. Massey and Dolphin are the only ones that stayed really consistently high up.
Dolphin's been quite up there as well. He's been surprisingly good.
But anyway, the safety car restart, and I mean...
Yeah, about to go for it.
Here we go, anything can happen. 4 laps left, we will get one lap of safety car, then 1 lap of DRS on the last lap, I think. Or maybe another one on...
So we're going to have Menz on old mediums. We're going to have OG James and Massey on fresh, well, reasonably fresh softs. Definitely not old ones, I think that's fair to say. Hopefully we're going to get a good restart as Menz goes for it. It looks like he got a bit sideways on the exit there, and actually I think he'll keep the lead into turn 1.
Oh, as Ale's breaking very late, and no, there's another
Dolphin's
massive
gone,
crash.
and he's hit Panther as well.
Nearly everyone has crashed.
And that is not what you want.
Oh, this is awful.
See, that's
this is
really
awful
unfortunate for a lot of drivers there. Again, it's breaking into turn 1, and look at that, there's a massive gap between the top 4 and everyone else, almost 3 seconds. And oh my word, what a race we've had so far. Icklin is in the pits. Did he pit on the restart?
Yeah,
he got a 5-second penalty.
He hit
Jack.
Yeah, he hit Jack, I think.
He hit the back of Jack.
That would cause him damage.
Leah's past Hypers. I wonder if Hypers might have a bit of wing damage after that. All of that nonsense that happened there. He's going side by side with Panther actually, and he will be continue going side by side with Panther. And Panther makes the move. He does. Massey's out. Massey's out. He went straight on.
I wonder whether he's like lost.
Did he? Where is he?
I wonder whether he's maybe had a wheel issue or something going into Castle. And
wow, that's huge.
That is.
You would not have thought that. Oh my word. And the man that has led the race until the last 2 safety cars, he's been dominant out there today. Massey F1 is out of the race and will not finish the race for the first time this season.
And it's brought out of VSCs. There's another restart for everyone to contend with.
And it's just helping out JD Menz. He's licking his lips here. He says, if we can keep under safety cars and VSCs for as long as possible, I'm going to get a win on my hands here. And he really wants it. He can taste it here. There's somebody else that can taste it. I think it's OG James. He's looking and trying to get this here. I don't believe original or OG James, I want to say, I don't believe he's got a podium still since he moved up.
Yeah, he looks pretty.
And I know that's been one of his main goals since he.
He's looked pretty nailed on to get one now, to be honest. Like, unless something really drastic happens.
Well, as we've seen so far in this race, anything can happen.
Yeah.
So,
all of the top 3 could get a drive-through for all we know, and.
Exactly. All the top 3 could get a drive-through, and it could be Panther and Dolphin. Oh no, we're all good. Never mind. But we are back racing again, and I mean, you can see we're right on board with Ojigen. You can see just how quick he is compared to Menz. Menz's tyres are going to be slow. They're going to be slow now, and you would think he's going to go for it. Dolphin has made a move on Panther, and that looks very interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, this is all about the battle for the lead now. And Alain's back in it as well on brand new softs.
Oh yeah.
Although Alain, to be honest, is the person who did cause that crash in turn 1 on that final safety car restart. So potentially is going to have a steward meeting coming his way as well. If I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, he may be going to see the stewards afterwards. I think pretty much everyone's going to be seeing the stewards after this race, to be completely honest. It's been all over the place. But I'll tell you what, OG James has been pretty good with that. So far, he hasn't really had anything to complain about. And he's going to be using as much ERS as possible as he uses the slipstream, as he tries to potentially make a move into turn 1. I think he's too far back and he's waiting.
As DRS is now enabled.
DRS, which has been enabled now. He's going to have 2 laps of DRS racing, and you're going to see if he can manage to get through. He's actually taken the DRS away from Ali, so that could be massive there.
Yeah.
He gets a good exit here, which he didn't. To be completely honest, he didn't have the best of exits. I've definitely seen better.
I've had it confirmed by Massey in the Williams chat that he had his wheels stopped and his pedals went weak, and there was nothing he could do, and went straight into the wall. And yeah, nothing you can do there at all.
That's horrible.
And one thing I will say though is that OG James's tyres are going to be a bit dead themselves, and J-Lee Menz, when he gets it right, we know he's quite a quick driver, and he's actually been able to sometimes pull the gap out on OG James, and maybe even look to control.
Ali's out! Ali's out! In the castle!
My word.
Oh, this has been such a mad race. Dolphins just picked up a 3-second time penalty, and this is just this race has been bonkers. And we're down to 9. Piper's almost hits Ali there.
Okay. Not another one.
Oh, Hicklin's out! Hicklin's hit him!
As Golden Egg Fryer was kind of
That's the
stuck
second
behind
week in a
him.
row he's hit a car that's been stranded.
And we're going to have 8 finishes here. We're going to have 8 finishes at the
We're gonna
absolute
have 8.
most.
Yeah, you never know. Jack could do something here. He's normally quite good. Yeah, I mean, Ali's car's not there anymore, so he gets through. But something that is happening is Dolphin's making a move on Leah, and he takes P3. I just got on board with him, and he gets P3 off of Leah. Of course, Leah does not have a penalty, so you may try and stick with him. But it looks like, I'm not going to lie, I think this race has been gifted to J. Menz here. There's been all sorts happen. I think it's going to be him to take it. Hypers has got the fastest lap of the race now.
Hypers is in P6, despite being 25 seconds from the lead after like a lap 23 safety car, so... But wow, I mean, for all we know, J. Menz could
all over the
lose
place.
it in
We're
the
on the final lap
here.
now, finally.
Yeah, for all we know, J. Menz could lose it on cars.
4 safety cars later, with a VSC as well on top.
As we have
we're on the final
41
lap.
viewers who are watching a demolition derby right here.
I do apologise for your eyes. I really do.
But anyway,
We're going to ride on board with JD Menz.
all due respect to JD Menz, he had a qualifying ban this race, started second to last, was last by about a minute. And I'm not exaggerating here, about a minute after the first couple of laps. Lost his entire...
the first couple of corners
I think
after
he
that
lost his
incident.
entire front wing under the second safety car. Then under that safety car, he pitted for what was the 4th time for a set of medium tyres, a new set of medium tyres. He's managed to ride them out to the end of the race, withstand pressure from cars behind, not making any mistakes when it matters, and he is going to cross the line. Stewart's pending,
takes
of course,
the win
and he takes the victory.
in Baku.
OG
And
James is
that
wheeling
is
his wheel to
fantastic
celebrate his
stuff.
first podium, I'm sure, of Division 2.
I think that's his first podium since he moved up.
Leah, I think, has got a bit of a
Dolphin
timing
will
glitch.
complete the podium.
Leah's got a bit of a timing glitch, I believe. He did have no penalties and was less than 3 seconds behind Dolphin. So it is Leah who claims P3.
We'll sort out after the race, so we will interview Dolphin, but we will sort that out after the race and see if we can get that there. Panther comes through to take P6 after he actually had no wing, so he must have had an incident on that last lap there. Has cost him P5. Hypers takes P5. Golden Egg Fryer comes P7. And SLR Jack will come home now to take P8. That's Menz's first win of the season. He scored points in Bahrain. He DNF'd in China. He then came second with fastest lap in Spain, and then crashed again in Monaco. And today he takes the victory. It must be very sweet for JD Menz. He said he had the pace, and he said he planned his. He said in the Div 2 chat earlier. He said he planned his quali ban for Azerbaijan. I know that's probably a joke, but he said he planned starting last for Baku, and well, you can see why he's done that. He had to disqualify himself. He started P17 over a minute down, as you were saying, after the first lap, and he's come through. He's pitted a numerous amount of times, and he takes victory here in Baku.
Yeah, I mean,
if you would not mind, please invite the top 3 into the party.
I mean, that race, I mean, like, for no better word of it, I mean, that was a mess. That was an absolute mess. I mean,
it was.
Crashes, safety car, stuff like that. I mean, unpredictability and stuff, but...
I'm just going to check. What lap was it they crashed? It was 24, wasn't it? So they may get points. I'm not sure. Yeah, no, they won't. Never mind. It's going to be 95%. If they crashed on lap 24, I think you had to do lap 25 to do it. So that's unfortunate. But yeah, well, I mean, that was a bonkers one, really, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, as I'm going to invite Leah and Dolphin to the party, because Leah's probably going to get podium. So
I think that's fair enough.
Yeah. So let's get them both in.
I'll let you take the interview. Sam, you can do it. I'm going to finish up.
Yeah, we'll do. Dolphin, we got both you and Leah in because, I mean, it says you finished P3, so I think that means you deserve an interview. Yeah, I think he might have had a timing glitch. Yeah, I think Leah might have had a bit of desync and timing glitch after disconnecting in the middle of the race. It's quite a common thing. We've got you both in. Like, chances are you'll be fourth, Dolphin, but as you've been named third in the race results, and we're up there for most of the race, thought you'd get an interview anyway. So that's why we've got you both in. it. Yeah. Anyway, starting off with Leah. Well, you've a very, very, very just up and down, topsy-turvy race, and you've ended up in what we think will be P3. So, I mean, talk us through your race. I mean, it was kind of hard to keep track of at times. And well, describe what you felt when you disconnected, came back, and saw you were leading.
The disconnect was my data running out, and that was also my boss plus as well. So I quickly put the miners back on, and then came back as a game leading. He must have pitted. I was still pretty cold, and then he got me. I think Barlow just outrode himself. But then we had another safety car. And I was still going around that last bit with side pod damage and half wing, so it was tough.
You've managed to keep all four wheels on your car and got a solid result this season. Have you? I believe you got your win, obviously, in Bahrain. I think it's probably your first trip to the podium since then. So, how does it feel to kind of break that duck? I guess of a few poor races, it must be said, like with incidents.
Yeah, I mean, to pick up points in every race is pretty good, especially like this track in Monaco. Tough track. So take it and keep rolling. Good drive from yourself though. And now on to Dolphin. So good drive from yourself. I mean, one of the few drivers we saw who didn't really make that many mistakes, and really your main issues I think was being on those hard compound tyres in the middle of the race. So
I did make a little mistake at the end. I sort of got a little bit. I almost totaled massive for the second time of the season. So luckily I managed to, just on that restart, the last restart, I got a bit hot into the braking zone and I span almost, but just kept overtaking people. Probably be P4, but I'm happy with that. So I've gone up a division. So I'm just settling in nicely and scoring points, which is the main thing.
I mean, you have to think about a couple of seasons ago you were struggling to score points in Div 3, and now you got back-to-back top 5s in Division 2, so
very happy with that. It was a weird race, though. It's a strange race, that one.
It was a really strange race.
It was,
until you watched
every safety car for me seemed to, like the first one, really helped me because I've literally just pitted. And all the rest in front of me I'm assuming were doing a one stop, doing a medium hard. So that didn't work out for them. And then the second one was no good for me, and then I've lost count how many there were now. I think there was 4, wasn't there?
Yeah, there were 4 in total,
Good racing.
There was 4 safety cars and 1 virtual at the end.
Crazy.
And now on to OG James. Well, I mean, you've had countless opportunities, from what I can remember, to potentially end up on the podium, but you've now finally done it. But I mean, at least the first time since I was here. I mean, how do you feel getting that podium? Terrific ride for yourself.
Thank you. Well, cheers for that. Yeah, it's been a long time away. Since the end of Div 3, last time I had a podium. Unlucky not to get the win. I think the tyres just went to the end. The virtual safety car helped, but I just didn't have the tyres. I stayed out longer than everyone else on the softs. I kind of made my pit stops wrong, where I boxed a softs when it should have been mediums. I could have been up lower men's. Got a bit lucky with Macy getting taken out, and Ali crashed in Castle. So, and I thought 6 seconds down the road of third, I thought this is mine. Tyres start to drop off, and basically Menz was gone. He had the better tyres, and congratulations on the win. Huh? Can't wait.
Good try for yourself. And I mean, and now on to men's. Well, you were last by a country mile for most of that race, and then you appeared in P1. So, I mean, I don't really know how else to put it, but talk us through your race.
Yeah, that was the weirdest race ever. Like, I got up in that turn 2 incident, I was already like a minute behind. Then, on the second safety car restart, my nose got taken off when someone else crashed. So that put me back down into last, and then the safety car came out, everyone pitted. I just stayed on mediums because I had nothing to lose. And ended up working out in the end because I felt good on the mediums. But finally win.
And well, you've come very close to a victory multiple times this season, whether it be that pitting 1 lap too late in Spain when it started raining, or whether it be penalty in Bahrain, whether it be a spin in China. But how does it feel to finally just get past spinning and
I almost spent a couple of times. I had a couple of mini heart attacks. It's my heart was beating so quick at the end. But just before that final safety car, I thought that was it over. So I knew everyone else was going to pit for softs again. I thought that would be race over, but managed to hold on in there. Luckily, there was quite a lot of action behind in the end. But yes, big improvement from last season. Like, first season on wheel, first season on no traction. So this season was always just about trying to show some pace rather than consistency, but found the pace. I just need to work on the consistency now for the rest of the season.
And yes, that finally kick-starting your season and see how.
Yeah, championship's probably sailed, but focus on next season.
I mean, the championship leader, of course, crashed.
I don't know.
The championship leader, of course, retired today, so you never know. And
yeah, he's on the
anything like
Long season.
Long season, yeah, mate.
Only 5 races in, still got 19 left to go.
Most of my good tracks have been and gone though, but we'll see. We'll see. It's a big improvement from last season, so.
Oh, that has been. That's the end of the 5 race window now, isn't it? So we may see if there's any movements. We'll see how that all goes. But so that is the end of the first 5 races. It's definitely been an eventful first 5 races, and I think that topped a lot today. I thought we couldn't beat we couldn't beat Monaco, but I think we probably did today. It was a pretty bonkers race. 4 safety cars and 1 VSC, 8 finishes as we started with 18. Well, there wasn't much more that could be said of that race. That it was chaos. Congratulations to those that finished. Congratulations, of course, to our top 4 as we've got in the party. Await the verdicts on how what happened. Yeah, well, best of luck for us to see you guys in the party. And we'll join us again in about an hour's time for Division 3. As we'll be going back to the streets of Azerbaijan again. Thank you everyone for watching along. Thank you everyone for the support. Of course, don't forget to check out the Get Well Gamers as well, as we mentioned before the race. GWG UK on Twitter, and getwellgamers.org.uk on that's the website. Thank you everyone for watching, thank you everyone for joining, and we'll see you next time. Good night.